Hey, everybody, welcome to the podcast. I am Jeremy Birmingham. This is Birminology. Today, we are talking with Garrett Stover from Sunbury, Ohio, Big Walnut High School, as he makes his college decision and announces his intention to play football for the Buckeyes at the next level. He's the cousin of Cade Stover, the Ohio State tight end, and a player that the Buckeyes have really dialed in on in the last 6 months. Enough of my talking about Garrett Stover. Let's let him talk about his decision starting right now. As mentioned, Garrett Stover joins the podcast for this commitment edition of Birminology. Garrett, thank you for taking the moment out of your afternoon, evening to record this, but also congratulations on a decision that I know you've kind of been thinking about for a while, but it wasn't as easy as you thought it would be, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was definitely a very stressful process. I mean, it's came down to two schools that I was very interested in, and it was a hard choice, but I know I made the right decision. So
Your recruitment and your entire national profile, everything really changed. Heck, but 5 months ago now, you were a relative unknown. I guess you were, obviously making a lot of plays at your high school level, but you went to a couple camps this summer and it seemed like everything clicked and changed. When you look back on this summer and what those opportunities meant for you and what they've ultimately led to for you, can you think of a moment or a play when you realize, hey, I belong at this level?
I think just going to those camps and everything, and coming off my sophomore season, I think I really always kind of had it in me I could play at that level, but kind of just showing out at the camps was the biggest thing, and running a 4.40 and everything, and really just getting that picking up the offer from Ohio State, especially that built my confidence, and just made me realize I can play at this level and everything, even though I just got out done. I was only a sophomore and playing and everything, but I think it was all just kind of tied together, and I was now I'm where I'm at now.
As you started to really dive into this process over the last few months, you were at Ohio State. You've been to Ohio State. They've played 6 home games thus far. I think or 7 home games so far. I think you've been to 6 of them. Obviously they're the local team. That makes it a lot easier to get there. But how were those visits actually important for you to feel like you fit in with the program? Because it's not just about going to watch football. You have to see how you connect with everything they do, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, I think every trip there is it's awesome. I mean, whether it's me and my family or friends or everything going there, it's a blast. And biggest thing, the biggest takeaway from there is they make you feel like home, and that's why it's like every time I would leave there, it's like I want to go to Ohio State and everything, and it's the biggest thing is they make you feel welcome. They take the time and opportunity to talk to you. The coaches get to talk to you 15 minutes before the game, before kickoff, and I think that's huge. And that place is just filled with great people, and that's what the biggest thing in my whole recruiting process is what I look for and everything. So yeah.
As a player, I think it's interesting just because positionally there are multiple things you can do. There are some people who list you as a safety. There are college coaches around the country who think you may grow into being a linebacker. What do you feel like your best fit is, and how has Jim Knowles and Perry Eliano and the rest of the Ohio State staff sort of balanced the conversations about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think when I went to the camp, I was working out with the safeties and everything, and kind of working on my game there. But I think as the years go on, and I get older and my body starts to develop, I think that will having say what I'm playing down the road and everything. So really just Coach Knowles' message is just like I could play safety, I could play linebacker. Just really think from here on out, just got to keep working at it, keep working at both. Just kind of making sure I can, I'm still that player that can do multiple things on the field. So, yeah, as of right now, just kind of wherever.
Figure it out as your body changes and grows. As a Stover, you are certainly someone that likes to hit people. I know that.
Yeah.
Obviously, that is one of the things that when I covered Cade's recruitment, that was really evident. He didn't really care where he played as long as he got to inflict some damage on people, and you see that now in his game. As you've gotten to be put in this position, and you've had the ability to talk to Cade and figure out from him what all it takes to really make it at a place like Ohio State, what's been the biggest lesson that Cade has been able to give you about things?
I mean, really, just no matter what you're doing, no matter where you want to go. I mean, it's going to just take putting your head down and working hard. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, you got to every day, whether you got to wake up at this time or that time and go do this. I mean, you got to be tough and just get through it. And no matter what, you got to have tons of energy and just you got to bring it every day because people are going to see that and feed off of you and everything. So really just put your head down and work. I mean, that's the biggest thing.
Have you spent any time at Cade's apartment with him and Tommy Eichenberg and Steel Chambers and playing euchre? And if so, are you Cade's partner generally in euchre, or do you guys have to compete against each other?
I really, I mean, I haven't really been up there. I haven't been to I haven't been to his new place, but I know last year I went to his house and just kind of hung out with all them and everything. And they're good group of guys and everything. But I've not played euchre or anything. They usually do that on their own time or at my grandma's house. So,
are you not a euchre guy? That's part of being a Midwesterner, Garrett.
I don't think I'm not very I'm not a very good card guy.
Well, you got time to learn. Yeah. As you've, I think this is interesting, and correct me if I'm wrong. I've told people this story before. So you and Cade are actually probably biologically brothers, I believe, because your father and his father are brothers, and your mother and his mother are sisters, right?
Yes. Yep.
So biologically, you're actually brothers, not cousins, but that is not really relevant here today. What is relevant in making this college decision is that now you're the third commitment in the class of 2024 for Ohio State. You joined Dylan Raiola and Ian Moore, both of which you'll see this Saturday as Ohio State takes on Michigan in the Horseshoe. It's a unique class this far because it does have a lot of potential, but Dylan's all the way in Arizona. Ian is an offensive lineman from Indiana. You're now the local guy. You're the guy that people are going to expect to be sort of the ambassador on campus every time a recruit comes into town. You're not a guy that wants to go rah, talk, recruit other people. I know your philosophy on this is, hey, I'm going to be there to talk to you, but I'm not going to push. How do you feel like you have to change your approach from here now that you're officially in the class?
I mean, really just, I think Ohio State, does a great job of, selling itself and everything. It's just, from here on out, I think it's just, building relationships with, other recruits that, may have interested in coming to Ohio State. And just, the biggest thing is, what Ohio State, offers and provides, kind of just carry that on to, and show other recruits, why Ohio State is, the place to be. So I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and there are a lot of guys inside of the state of Ohio right now that have an offer in your class, and that's sort of, I think, generally over the last handful of years when the Buckeyes recruiting classes have gone like really high and been pushing for that number one class in the country, there's been a core of Ohio guys that have sort of led the way, and now you are the guy that's going to be out there trying to bring in Bryce West and Aaron Scott and Jordan Marshall down at Cincinnati Moeller. Do you have relationships with any of those guys? And, how do you guys talk about all this together?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't been doing too much talking about like the whole process and everything. I think it's kind of been, everybody's been, focusing on their junior season, but I know, I've built good relationships with Bryce and Aaron and, Jordan, just from going to camps and stuff with them and everything. And it's good to see them grow and everything and go through this process just like I did. And so I think, definitely, when they're ready to make the decision, they'll make it.
Now, for you, which relationship at Ohio State, which coach have you been closest with, and how has that relationship grown since the start of the season?
I would definitely say Coach Knowles. I mean, I think, especially during the season, we talked every week and just everything, just to catch up. And after they play on Saturdays, catching up on Monday or Sunday. I think it's kind of one of those things where it's like he's been coaching me for like 10 years. It feels like he's has been making a huge impact on me and everything. And he's a great guy. He's not one of those coaches that is going to tell you what you want to hear and settle for less and everything. He's just a great dude, and I can't wait to be coached by him.
Obviously, your junior season ended about 10 days ago. You've been trying to then put that behind you and focus on the recruiting process. What was it in these last 10 days that really sent you to the point where you said, "Hey, I know that I've got to make this decision. I know where I want to go. Why not drag it out a little longer if you like a lot of guys would?"
Yeah, I think from the moment I picked up a football, I think and growing up watching the Buckeyes, and I think it's been my dream to play here. The offer from the Buckeyes, it's something I've been working towards my whole life, and it's just finally it's like I got that feeling like I did it, but I just know I got to keep working and everything. But kind of just knew it all along. I know there were some different schools that came in the mix that kind of made me rethink and everything, and made sure I got out and see those places. But all of in the end, my heart's a Buckeye, and I'm excited for this future and everything.
Well, as a football family, I think people around the state of Ohio have really begun to appreciate the Stovers and how Cade operates things and how he handles himself on and off the field. And I know that they're going to feel the same way about you, Garrett. So congratulations again on this decision, man. It's been a pleasure getting to know you over these last handful of months. And obviously we'll continue to grow that relationship our own over the next year and a half. But it certainly is a unique time to have this opportunity and be a kid that has worked that hard. So, make sure you find some time to celebrate.
Yep. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem at all. That's Garrett Stover. He's Ohio State's third commitment in the class of 2024, the latest commitment in the class of 2024. I'm Jeremy Birmingham. This is Birminology on the podcast. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.